Okay, hey everybody, welcome to the session. Today we'll talk about IELTS reading and how we can get our answers correct every time that we are trying to solve it. My name is Pooty Chawla. I'm the manager here for IELTS at Leverage Edu. And like I mentioned, so all of you here, I'm sure, are planning for IELTS and would like to crack it in one go. So today we will specifically talk about the reading section. Now with reading, first the basics that you have 3 long passages for academic students, and for general training students you have 3 sections but 5 passages. Apart from this, certain kinds of topics that come in academic would not appear in general training passages. So they take it from different sources, but the type of questions which come in both type of exams are the same. So you have all of them as objective type questions. There are 11 types of questions in total. In the exam, you don't get all of them, but some out of those all, but you never really know what you're going to get. So it's kind of a gamble. So always you have to prepare for everything beforehand so that you don't get any shockers in the real exam. Now, even though these are, passages and you have certain kind of questions for which, you have to find your answers from the passage itself. I'm sure everybody's done it in their schools as well. But the catch here is that because these are such, long passages, and even with general training ones, the third passage, the last one which you get, is the same length as academic. So the kind of topics that you will get later on in the third passage, or the length, that means the number of words that you have, or the number of questions that you would have will also be more. So in terms of difficulty level, general training exams are relevantly easier, but not when it comes to the third passage. So all in all, every candidate who's planning to take IELTS would have to have a certain level of practice and putting certain amount of effort so that you're able to solve it completely and accurately and within the time. So all these questions that I'm talking about, 11 types of questions, they are the same for both academic as well as general training students. So even though you have objective answers, but there are certain things that you'll have to go through and certain strategies that you have to learn and practice so that you're able to get to your answers. Now, IELTS reading is a mixture or a blend of 2 kinds of skills. So one, of course, you have your vocabulary. For instance, all 40 answers in the test that you get, in 60 minutes that you're supposed to solve, will be paraphrased. So that means you will find the same information as the questions, but you will find it using synonyms, or it comes to you, the answers comes to you, but in different vocabulary, in different words. So even though it's the same information, it is paraphrased. So that's the catch that you'd have to keep in mind and crack hold of when you're solving your reading sections, both general training and academic. Now, because everything is paraphrased, so vocabulary is one a big area which is tested in your IELTS reading part. But then so is the other part, which is your strategy. So apart from, of course, having a wide range of vocabulary which will help you immensely in the reading section, you also have these test-taking strategies which help you to get to your answer quickly, and so that you're not having that chaos overwhelm you and you're able to manage to solve your answers. Now, out of these 11 questions, so let's start with the first one. So there are different kinds of questions, yes, no, not given. Those of you already know about it. True, false, not given questions, or a lot of them are fill in the blanks. There are 5-6 types of questions where you have gap fill, basically 1-word, 2-word answers that you're writing. It could come to you in the form of sentences, summary, or table, flowchart, diagram, any of it. Then you have other type of questions which are called matching questions. There are different kinds of matching questions as well. So you have match the heading, which takes the longest in your exam generally for students. Then you also have matching paragraph information, matching dates, matching names. So these 4 types of matching questions. And then you have, apart from true, false or fill in the blanks, you have sentence ending, giving a subtitle, or choosing from a list, multiple choice. These are the kinds of questions which are apart from the matching ones. sequence. So the first tip for you to remember is all your matching questions will not be in order. And the rest of the questions are always in sequence. They come in order. What do I mean by this is you will find answer one after the other. So suppose I found the first 4 answers. I start from the first paragraph looking for my keywords. 5th answer I'm not able to find, and 6th also I was able to locate where the answer is. So the 5th answer has to be between your 4th and 6th only. It's not going to be anywhere else. So because that things are in sequence, all of these question types are in sequence, apart from instead of rather going ahead and looking at your whole passage, because they will come to you one after the other, where is it that you have to go and find your answers from. Another thing to remember is because these questions, they don't follow a definite order as such. So in one of the passages, I can get true, false first and then sentence completion, or the other way around, or I could have other types of questions involved. So going back and forth has to be reduced. It should be limited. Rereading has to be avoided as much as possible. So one is that you try to solve the questions which are in sequence first. So if for a passage I'm getting matching questions, true, false, and sentence completion. So in those, let's say if I'm taking 15 minutes for passage 2 or 18 minutes for passage 2, so I'll try to take the first 8 minutes or so for the questions which are in sequence, which is my true, false, and sentence completion, because I have a better sense of where the answer would be, one after the other. And then I'll try to save that major chunk of time for the matching questions. How does this help? Is because it has already taken half the pressure off you, since some answers you have already done. For the next part, you are a bit more calm that I have some more time. I have that leisure of spending more time on the matching question, since one half, or rather 2 halves of my questions are already done. Plus, because you have already gone through some of the passage for the other 2 types of questions, you will have a better sense of the passage as well. So when it comes to the matching questions, you already have an awareness of what is given where in the passage. Of course, you'll have to go back and read according to your matching question types and what is asked. But at least you're not going into the blind. Some parts of the passage because you've already solved them or read them for some other types of questions. So these are some strategies which you use in order to understand, how you save yourself from getting overwhelmed, in the real exam, and you solve the question systematically. All right, great then. Thank you so much for joining in today. Keep watching this space for more such informative sessions, and I hope to see a lot of you in the session. Have a nice day ahead. Thank you. Bye.